Should you break the no contact rule? Some people might claim that you should never ever break the no contact rule. I am here to tell you that it depends on the specific situation. There's a few cases where I believe that breaking the no contact rule can actually be beneficial for your healing process, whereas in other situations it is absolutely detrimental to contact your ex. So in this video, I will therefore be sharing my own personal experiences and hopefully provide you with valuable insights. If you're confused about what this no contact rule is all about, I have a video specifically explaining what this rule exactly entails. So if you're interested, you can click on the screen or look in the show notes down below. I will link to that video right over there. Now let's jump straight into the video. The first scenario where I believe breaking the no contact rule can be useful is when we need to arrange practical things. Like, for example, you need to take care of the kids together, you were arranging a mortgage, there were certain responsibilities that you need to take care of before you fully decide to separate your own ways. Or in certain cases, there is just certain responsibilities you can work around without actually being in touch with your ex. In that case, I think it's crucial for you to maintain at least one communication channel so you can exchange the necessary information. However, I do believe it can be useful if you reduce that communication channel to, for example, email or something less interactive as something like WhatsApp or Messenger or a social media platform, simply because there is additional layers for you to keep watching and stalking your ex, right? You can watch the stories, you can see whether they're online or not, etc., etc. And email is a more formal way of communicating. That way you reduce the amount of exposure and you can really keep it as lean as possible and just stick to all the practicalities, list them out in the email, and exchange information that way. Now, the second case in which I believe it can be useful to break the no contact rule is if you had a very conscious relationship. If you both were really great communicators and the breakup was a mutual decision where you both know it's better for us to take some time apart and we need some time to move on and focus on our own lives, but there was no real fight, there was no real toxic situation. You were just two conscious human beings in a conscious relationship that just wasn't the right fit at the time. Breaking the no contact rule in that scenario can be because you really want to know how the other person is doing. And if none of you actually communicated clearly that you don't want your ex-partner to contact you, in that case, I think it can be appropriate to sometimes send a message to show them that you still care, that you're wondering how they're doing. Maybe you can send them something about their birthday, or if you know that their family was struggling with some kind of illness, you can ask for a small update. Treat them like a good friend, right? They were, after all, a really important person in your life. And if you separated on good terms, then I believe it is possible to sometimes break the no contact rule in order for you to exchange some kind of information about each other's lives, because you are still important to one another. And as long as nobody suffers from staying in touch, then I believe it can be a nice thing to keep each other updated sometimes. You don't want to be talking every single day, but now and then sending a small text to let them know that you're thinking of them or that you're wondering about how they are doing in their lives. I think that is absolutely okay and definitely nothing to be ashamed about. Now, the third scenario where I believe that breaking no contact can be an okay thing to do is when you feel like you completely moved on, when you feel like the relationship is in the past and there is no real emotional attachment to it anymore. Like, for example, I have a few girlfriends from a long time ago and I decided to reach out to them because I wanted to know how they're doing. And I know it's okay for me to do that because there is no emotional attachment anymore. Of course, I still care about them. I've had wonderful relationships with them and they ended because we just grew apart. There were different priorities. You know, people change, people evolve, and sometimes relationships are not meant to last forever. But that doesn't mean that your history together wasn't profound and meaningful, and you've had many, many beautiful moments and memories together. So obviously they are still important. So at some point, I am curious about how they are doing. And I am genuinely happy for them if they can reply with a message that shows that they are actually really well off, that they are having a good time, because I care about them and I wish them well. So whenever I know that, okay, I moved on completely, it has been a few years, they've had new relationships, I've had new relationships, and I'm just honestly, genuinely interested in how they're doing, then I can decide to reach out, considering the fact that they didn't explicitly ask me to not reach out, right? If your ex-partner tells you explicitly, hey, I would appreciate you not talking to me anymore, then you have to respect that. You have to respect their boundaries, because it will only cause more harm if you violate those boundaries. And maybe after a lot of years, you can decide to send a short, small, casual message and await their response. And if they then don't reply, or let you know again, hey, I would love you to not talk to me anymore, then you should respect that. It's okay to check, to ping, you don't do anything wrong with a small casual message, especially if it's been 5 years since you were in a relationship. But if they let you know that they don't really appreciate that, then please respect that and don't get upset, right? Accept the fact that they chose to move on with their lives and they don't want you to reach out anymore, and that's okay. Some people want that, other people don't, and you should accept that and you should respect their boundaries. So those were the three scenarios where I believe breaking the no contact rule can be okay. However, if you find yourself in a breakup that is really fresh, just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I definitely advise you to not break no contact. There is no reason for you to do that, even if you were in a very conscious relationship. I think it is definitely helpful for you to at least wait 1 month before you reach out to each other, because it's just necessary to create some space and to have some time to think about things, to really feel what is going on inside you, what is it that you want, what is it that the other person wants, and you should respect the time that is needed for that. So I would say don't break no contact if it's been less than 1 month since you've broken up. And after that, you can reevaluate and you can see if it is a good idea to reach out or not. I want to make one remark though. If your relationship was a very toxic one with a cycle of codependency, push pull, abandonment, all these toxic behaviors, I don't think it is a smart choice to break no contact, because you will get sucked into the emotional vortex very quickly and you will find yourself at square one in no time. So if you are aware, if you know deep down that your relationship was very, very toxic, then I would not recommend you to break no contact. I would recommend you to wait at least a year to fully recover from the emotional turmoil, because I know what it's like to be in a toxic relationship and to be addicted to that cycle, right? So with toxic relationships, you have to break the cycle. You really have to. So there is really no excuse for you to break no contact in that situation, only if there is practical reasons that require action, right? And then, like I said earlier, you want to reduce the communication to the bare minimum, preferably email. Keep it concise, keep it very, very lean and strict, and don't talk about emotional topics, just the mere facts and the essential information, and that is it. So I hope this video was helpful in some way. I hope you learned something today. If you're struggling with a breakup right now, I feel your pain. I've been there myself. I have many videos about this topic on this channel, so feel free to have a look around. And I want to show my appreciation for you being here with me. I hope my content is of service to you. I really appreciate you. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.